I do think that people, maybe not, again, not everybody, because there's certainly people in the United States that don't believe climate change is happening. So hi, I'm Roth Venu. I am the founder and CEO of 3R Water. You know, I have always been attuned to the natural world. I mean, I think that there's been an imbalance with what's been happening. You know, I did my undergraduate and learned about all the problems of the world, and very few people coming up with solutions of how we were going to attack this. And then I actually got partnered up with this man named John Todd, who's also an inventor and pioneer in the world of nature-based solutions. And he invented something called the living machine. And it just connected with me immediately that, you know, there's no such thing as pollution. It's just a resource out of place, and how we can become better managers and stewards of our water resources and bringing back that balance with the natural world. And so, you know, everything I do is basically part of bringing back that balance and bringing nature back into the urban core, that we're not just doing conservation measures, you know, in a mountain forest, but we're actually looking at ecosystem services in our own built environments. And so addressing climate change and climate adaptation, having the ability to bring these nature-based solutions back into our built environment, I think is critical. So, all the creative thoughts and design and this product that I've developed is all really based around that. And I guess it just comes from my passion, comes from my heart. I guess I'm just lucky that I get to do what I'm passionate about. So I've been in the water sector for 20 years, and we were tasked to audit some facilities to identify opportunities for capturing stormwater through methods of using rainwater harvesting tanks or putting nature-based solutions in. And so we had some really large properties that we had to go out and attack and figure it out. And there was too many steps in like gathering the data and then bringing it back in the office and having to model it and using several softwares, that I just had an idea of how we could maybe put this all together into one product. And I was lucky enough to get funding from the state of Hawaii and a local foundation called the Hawaii Community Foundation. We are about to start a pilot project with our own city and county of Honolulu. So they're developing a stormwater utility right now that they're going to launch in about a year. And so what that means is that they're going to be basically putting a fee onto all property owners based off of the amount of impervious cover. So that's all your roof area, your concrete, basically trying to incentivize people to reduce their stormwater impact. And again, implement these things it's called green infrastructure, these nature-based solutions to act like sponges to absorb that water. So we're basically gonna be doing some small modifications to the software to adapt the mobile app to their program specifically, and connecting into their database so that when a customer is using it, it actually pulls data from that property so they can see their actual monthly fee reduction should they implement that project through the app. And so, yeah, that's going to keep us busy. You know, we have probably by next summer is when we're going to then work with a local nonprofit as part of this pilot to take it out to the community. And we have a specific watershed called Ainahaina in East Honolulu, where there's about 5,000 homes and several different commercial shopping centers and so forth. And the nonprofit will actually go out door to door with the app and engage both the residential folks as well as property managers for these commercial sites. We'll get user feedback as well as do some surveys to support the incentive program of how willing they would be to implement these types of projects. So this pilot certainly will keep us busy, certainly for the next 12 months to 18 months. And then meanwhile, we'll also be, starting to try to get one additional pilot as our goal within the calendar year. For us, being a Hawaii-based company, it felt just natural to start off with a local-based accelerator program. And we're about to start a pilot with the city and county of Honolulu, and just we're really trying to create our foundation here locally so that we can then go out internationally from here And whether that means additional accelerators in other locations, we're absolutely open to that. But it just seemed like the natural thing to do to start locally and then expand out later. Come in fairly open-minded, but I specifically, I'm excited about everyone we're meeting and the whole network component of it. I mean, that's certainly something I'll take with me. And then, certainly there's the education components as well that I think will be a good foundation block, moving forward. It is like a crash course in all kinds of things. And I think, moving forward, since we have our pilot, I'm very focused on that. And we may, if we have the opportunity to get in front of some, socially or environmentally conscious investors that they might have through their network, that would absolutely be great to get in front of them and get feedback, and also see where that could also take us in terms of, next steps and so forth. That may not be an immediate in this 3 months, but maybe following this 3 months and, where we go. So I think just getting the feedback in general, like from the VC world, is going to be great. Whether it's, I'm sure I'm going to get some harsh punches on some things, but hopefully positive feedback as well. Like, and I'm hoping that, I know our world generally operates on just being able to make money, and everyone wants their unicorns, but hopefully we can find like-minded investors that also recognize we can still make money in a responsible way. But for me, the biggest challenge is really, I just need to build the 3R water team. So, so finally we have some funding coming in through this pilot. So we're actively going to be looking for a software engineer. Eventually I'd like to bring in someone who can do PR and marketing. So, just starting to build that team is really where I'm at. And that's been, because the biggest challenge really has been that I'm basically doing everything. So, and I can be the first one to tell you that I can't do everything very well. So I know what I'm good at. I need to fill, the other slots to make this, more successful than in, just a single pilot.